you know, they're gonna keep kind of messing up the broadcast. I'm trying to stay still. This cloud that came out of, like I say, you know what I mean? So they know what's up with the broadcast. We got the energies up, you know, the semen retention, the celibacy's popping. It's definitely much needed in this day and age and time in order to apply what we know. Important because any of the false, we're gonna say any of the religious cats, any of the Israelites, Hebrew Israelites, whoever who's in the clique. I'm talking about the FAC, the Black Panther Party. You know, these motherfuckers, they know. They watch. You got the helicopters out here. They know you're gonna have to be able to put forth something more, a little bit more serious if you want to complete the mission. We're not gonna complete the mission on a low spiritual level that we're on right now. When I say low spiritual, Kundalini, man, is your highest, is your biggest weapon that you got. That's gonna bring us together. Celibacy is gonna bring us all the way together, man. All the way. We ain't never tried it, G. And they know that that's the problem that we've been facing. A lot of reason why our children is out there so much, you know what I mean? They've been tapping into their system, you know? Jagging off and having sex and doing all these different things, being molested by these spirits. Further, having these parasites in them due to the food that they eat. Creating all these parasites in them. I mean, a lot of meat has this parasite, eating the way like how the beasts eat, which is a carbon-based type of food, not a silica-based food. So you can't get enlightenment if you don't face yourself and see that you was in darkness all along. And a lot of people love to use the term triple stages of darkness and things of that nature, but if you use one color over and over and over, it's gonna be black anyways. So we don't have to worry about all this old little Crayola shit. No more. It's no mas. The black, the yellow, everything under the ultraviolet is really the truth. You know what I'm saying? What's white under ultraviolet is really much what's going down. But let's get back on topic as far as like why celibacy really truly matter as a whole, because this is how we're gonna get the land back. Everybody's gonna be focused on doing something great. Peace. Peace, CEO. What's good? Okay, definitely. So we're gonna third eye in the Kundalini awakening with the meditation practices. Definitely, man. You really just got to be really quiet about, you know, this life. Just listen, because this is where we're going to be in tune with the Creator. This is how you get enlightened. The light starts on the inside first and foremost, and this is where the kingdom comes from. And they don't really want us to know that, because once we all take that initiative to face ourselves, that's when we'll start connecting and uniting with one another. We'll start valuing each other's ideas, and not opinions. It'll be ideas, because we are connected to the Creator, the Most High, the All Source. And now, with the expression, you know, we're over here building up our organic heavens while they're building up inorganic heavens, and we're striving to stay our way out of their inorganic heavens. This is how we do it in the flesh. This is where the downloads come in at. This is why they don't want us to talk about celibacy, because they want you to be afraid of celibacy. Celibacy is the way to the truth, and the light to the kingdom. This is how we bring it down, and this is how you get in tune with all your life families. A lot of these information, they'll touch on it kind of on a broad. They'll tell you that Kundalini and the spirit that connects you to, you know, your food connects you to the higher to your higher spirit beings, but it's really your ancestors and beings who fuck with you, rock with your ancestors. But anything outside of Etheria, outside of the firmament, that's where they trying to go, and they ain't not that far, because anything outside of that, it's like infinite, you know. So anyhow, though, we're getting out the inorganic heavens. We're getting into the organic heavens and shit. I gotta watch my back. I got the thugs, you know, playing around. We got this super cloud that just popped up out of nowhere, man. I mean, it just said. So I asked for the protection so we can get it down, but the thugs, they were here playing around, jumping around me, so they must feel the love. A couple people came through, you know, got the turtle over there. Okay, cool. So anyhow. So as far as like the divine counsel, we all putting in the work. Brothers and sisters on here listen to certain information online that's by our family and just getting enlightened in certain ways, you know. But this is like the missing piece. This piece right here, the celibacy, I guarantee you, it started working in 30 days. Everybody started linking up in 30 days. Everybody started thinking right in 30 days. We can get land. We can actually buy land. We're actually coming together. There's land we can get in Arizona, which is they kept from us, but there's a lot of affordable land out there that they don't want us to know about, because they've been on the East Coast so much. But the land over in Arizona, we can come together and get 36 acres, you know, at $150 a month, you know, and that's split up, and we can split that up between 20 of us. and be paying 50 cents. We're paying 50 cents a month. But we have to have the trust. You know what I'm saying? We have to be trustworthy. We own these lands. I know we have to, I know it's like, damn, well, we got to buy it until it's given back to us. It's one of the ways that we can get it at a very low price. You know, we got foreigners that own that land. Like there's Asians, Chinese, Koreans that have worked with you. You know what I'm saying? If you ever had a foreign landlord, they work with you. I know I did. I had a landlord. I only had to pay like 20, Turkeys, I had to pay like $24 for 2 years. And it was cool. I did the other work. But anyhow, man, I'm going to get back in it. So they put this cloud up, and with this cloud they got to go to B. Y'all see the B, right? You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's happening? This came out of nowhere. We're about to water. Yo, we got. They trying to mess up the podcast. I got you. Right there. Right there. The spirits, big dog. Just maintaining. We was talking about, you know, the actual cloud that came with, we sent the high vibratorial energy over through, so we like, hey, and you know, playing with us and stuff like that. Let me put my fake me out back. So I was like, admin. Alright, so we jumping into the game, y'all. You know, they try to mess up the broadcast, but Mosai came through real quick and blessed and hit me off with the beat, with the vibes and the vibration, you know what I mean? Let me know what the beat do when they come through, you know what I'm saying? What that mean? See? Mosai like, you tell me what the beat do, son. I know, I'm over here playing with the beat. I just hope you don't do that. I don't think he got a stinger going in on my head. They feel the vibes. I found some couple feathers today, so a white one and a black and white one. Let me know what that means, y'all. Y'all see me playing with bees now and shit. Hold on, baby. Be careful. Alright. Alright. Sorry about that, y'all. I ain't gonna be all like that. Anyhow, though. Peace, and see you later. All right, man. So to get the land back, yo, it's serious, it's spiritual. It's a spiritual thing too, because it's more than just getting something. You know, putting that. Like I said, we just found out I got a whole bunch of leads on some good land out in Arizona, man. You know what I'm saying, and how to get some good land. Some people it won't come with that good land. All right, dang, y'all, my bad. I know it's gonna look like when it comes back on, but anyhow, so to get the land, man, there's a lot of leads, man. There's a lot of lands in Arizona, all up in the northern parts and the southern parts. You know, plots that we can get plots to put together. We can have 36 and 36 and 36, and we got the whole area. Now we make our own thing. You know what I'm saying? In order for us to agree, though, we have to agree on the one all source in order to get our shit back, because we'll get over there and we'll still have this big eye little U type of thing, and we don't want that. And it's a good price. We can put money. This is truly can happen though. Like within the next year, you don't have to play no games, because now we have the energy, the Kundalini that's backing us. That's our spirit currency. You don't believe it, man. I mean, it won't manifest for you. You know, this is where the faith lies in. It's that energy. When we link up and do these things, a lot of the world is going to start to come down. A lot of shit's going to happen around you. You know what I mean? We already coming in our resurrection state right now. We already been crucified. So now we got the keys to the kingdom right now, which is celibacy. Right now, we can get up a month. You feel like how a person feel when they first started eating vegetarian food. When they first started, they feel so good after they eat vegetarian. They're like, yo, man, I'm a vegetarian now, you know? Because they've been in 3 months or whatever, you know? I mean, 1 month or something. And that's cool. But with celibacy, you'll see it daily. As far as as the day goes all the time. You can't get mad as much. And I be around people who try to gaslight and project on me all the time. But they're trying to figure out ways how to do it. And it's like, even when I'm in their presence, there's certain things that when you're walking in front of a person, they go, it's like, nigga, you already know. And, you know, it's saying anything. But motherfuckers already know, so you got to look up and make sure they don't do it. But they kind of swift that too. They know, he's doing a looking up move. I'm still going to bounce into him. You gotta understand, that Kundalini get up so high, A mug ain't trying to punk you when they walk past you. They want to brush you. But it can come off like they're punking you. I'll be like, no, you can have it, man. You know what I'm saying? 6 feet, for real. I'll give it to you. I guess I got to be the grown-up because I see how you're pinpointing your way to me. You're dealing with certain people, man. You know what I'm saying? So when you see people try to beeline and gaslight, beeline their way to you, you got this magnetic attraction that's going on. That they feel it, man. I'm talking about demonic entities, beings, all these mugs, man. You know what I'm saying? And they feel it, especially if they see you in operation. Like, when must see me, I'm down here. I'm like the only nigga, man. And I play with birds and bees and shit. You know what I'm saying? And they like, who the fuck is this nigga, man? And I come through, work out, eat a certain way. Nigga live out, nigga out in nature. They treat me like I done lived on the inside. I'm telling you, man. You know what I mean? So all of us are going to be getting treated this way because we're all put in the work if we're truly a part of the divine life family. Jeremiah, what's happening? How you doing? Let's see. So anyhow, though, and you know, the word, Nick, that stuff doesn't really hurt. That's a wisdom word. I mean, people, only the reason why the white people say nigga to us, you know, of course, it's like to try to make us hurt our feelings. It's called gaslighting and projection. It's supposed to be personality disorder. You know what I mean? To hurt somebody else may feel, you know, very low inside. It's a narcissistic, sociopathic, histrionic, something to get some type of attention or to invoke some type of response, an energetic negative response out of a person like that, you know? But the thing is, though, the reason why white folks say it to niggas, because, you know, when they came to the land, they was like, man, you hear niggas saying, niggas, da-da-da-da. And they was like, they wanted to say it after, you know, a certain amount of time of being around, like, hey, hold up, you can't say it. And if you find out in the South, you see certain white boys allowed to say it around certain niggas and shit. It's, man, you know, because it's like, we know and understand your spirit. We know you don't have a soul, so you're not really connected. In Hawaii, they call white folks howlies, like soulless beings and shit. I didn't make this shit up. It's like they went around the world and they get called soulless on their own. You know what I'm saying? I didn't make this up. But to hear the word nigga, a lot is I can understand when people try to hurt, you know, and that's understandable. You know what I mean? So with the gaslighting and projecting tactics, this is like what I'm talking about. As far as like when people gaslight and try to throw pain on you, this is why it's important for the foundational Black American or niggas, you know what I'm saying, to go ahead and get, you know, to deal with themselves first and foremost, because this is prophecy. And for the niggas that kind of, you know, apologize to the Africans, because the Africans now, they started to apologize to us, different countries in Africa, but these are just people that are in Africa. You know what I mean? It's not like a big, the head liberal, the legal, the ones who like to run the shit, they ain't the ones that said nothing. These ones, remember, they used to take bribes too. That's why their country became poor and they lived rich. You know, Most High warned of that stuff. You know, we was the one true whole country together. So I understand they say they want to, they see how we feel and what we did or whatever. But truly, you know, works come with the words, you know what I mean? So you got to understand they're at a cluster B personality disorder in themselves. So this is why it's important also for a nigga to go ahead and be like, for a season, show the power. Show your magnetic attraction, your true power of who you truly is on earth. Because if you constantly giving your energy away, your attention to someone else and validating their weak viewpoints because they haven't did the knowledge to themselves, they haven't sat down and dealt with the true I am within, then they're the ones that's gonna be easily led in the wrong direction or hard to be led in the right. Remember, it's 85% of the world is deaf, dumb, and blind mentally and spiritually, and they don't even know who the true and living God is. But they got an inkling that damn, God's people was in Amaru, America. So this is why the Great Division got to take place. Because when you're dealing with a narcissist, a motherfucker want to be up in your face at all times. I'm talking about not in your face, but be able to have tabs on you. Even if you go somewhere like, where you going? Da-da-da, da-da-da. It's kind of like the relationship with niggas got with America. We were so kind and giving. So the divine counsel is here now. Now you have to, there's nobody you really can ask on earth to help you. You only got the Creator, and it's made to be this way. Everything was designed for you to come crawling back to the Creator. And the way to do that is to repent. And you wonder how to repent. It's more than just saying it through your mouth. You have to show and prove to your Kundalini that you're the strong spiritual force on earth. That's what it is. You don't lust, you don't have to, you like big booties and shit, but you ain't got to lust after these months. You can tell when a motherfucker's lying to you or not through your Kundalini. You'll know if they're telling the truth. You'll know if they're getting downloads from the all source, the Creator, their ancestors, who's a high vibratorial spirit also, as conveying the message and showing it, you know. And some people want to keep us in this 666 and glorifying, you know, outside of ourselves. something outside of America. We was actually looking down on America. When the NOI came into the hood, they said, nigga, we swim 9, we couldn't swim 9,000 miles back to Africa. And every time they showed us Africa, they only showed us a few places like Kenya and shit. Places in the Congo where it's greenery and shit. You know what I'm saying? They ain't tell you that, nigga, if you really was there, nigga, you'd be walking for thousands of miles in the dirt. These motherfuckers ain't got no goddamn on rivers and shit that flow all through that continent. The richer part of that place is in Europe. But they were marketing Africa to us as if they was trying to swap places with the Africans to come to America and America to go to Africans. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you know what I'm saying, but just go ahead and catch it. Because it's been a big thing that's been happening in the 1990s. I was in the school with the Somalis, man. And the Somalis, when they got to America, them motherfuckers, they look pretty in the face, but they were some pumpkin mugs, man. We never smelled nothing like that. And they had a classroom where we couldn't even walk past that class because it was crazy. You know, the scent was. But through time, they started to figure out who they were. They were wrapped up in hijabs and things of that nature. And, you know, and niggas was already studying Sunni Islam. We already was familiar with it. You know, when they came to America, they say, hey, damn, niggas was really hard on praying and stuff. Like, we really loved the law. Like, we found out how to read the Quran and everything, because they try to put out the Quran on you, like, yeah, do you know how to read this, tajweed, and all this? And be like, nigga, alif, ba, ta, ta, jim, he, ho, da, da. What you saying, man? You know what I'm saying? They think niggas was ignorant and didn't know shit. We even learned Hebrew, too. Now we put it together. We're watching out for false shepherds and things of that nature. But anyhow, though, when you're dealing with the whole Africa, they think they were trying to swoop places for us. So now it's a narcissistic move. These cultures love to allow their people. They'll rule you, but they'll allow another motherfucker that's a part of their people to kind of gaslight their what they really would truly feel to you. Like, man, we're so sorry that you did it. Can you please forgive us? But it's like, it's not no liberal. It's not your leaders telling no niggas that. No leaders came out except like Trump. He said something like, y'all black people truly built America. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He says that, and yes, we did. Hands, mentally, spiritually, esoterically, everything. You know, that's why they want to get into our land to have our heaven. Our heaven is there. You know what I'm saying? And so, being that America is the land of milk and honey, it's the land of the beaver. There's not many beavers in the rest of the world. And if you understood the land of the beaver, that's the land of the elk as well. These are holy places. That's why they came through and had elk lodges, beaver lodges. They wanted to be just like us. You know? They wanted to be just like us, but we taught them agriculture, things of that nature. You know, I love when every knee and tongue, every knee shall bow, tongue gonna get turned back. Whatever false put back on the mug, it ain't gonna work. True Sabbath is the next day. It's one of the 4 sacred days of the moon, and this is one of the bills right before True Sabbath. So most sides go ahead and get this out of here. So everybody's gonna have to go back to their spot because it feels like nobody want to leave. But hey, that's how they're gonna have to take it. So fasting, food, celibacy, you can't even validate the chicks no more. When I say that, we got the best dick on earth. I'm gonna tell you that right. I already know I got the best dick on earth. I ain't even tripping. That's why all the bitches want a nigga and shit. They want niggas. And also we have skill, we have patience. The fruits of the spirit, naturally. Our people already has been crucified. Now we're at the point of resurrection, and the way to resurrect is through that kundalini getting up to the crown chakra. We already be lit. Now we going. The truth is in the porn, you know. That's why you see ghetto gaggers take black women and they just do all this little horrific shit like it doesn't take black women and they just do all this little horrific shit like it doesn't turn black women on. Black women are broken at that point. They have cluster B personality, borderline personality disorder. They're highly sexual. And they can master the motherfuckers who trying to degrade them anyway. But as being with, you know, the truth being in the porn, that's why I say get out the porn, man. You're going to worship and obsess over niggas. They got whole websites where white men are dedicated to being cockholes for a nigga. You ain't nowhere in our culture, so we do that. That's why we got to deal with these molesting spirits and take your power back with your kundalini, man. They all want to suck your balls from the back. That's why they have parades down the street and they mad. Oh, you homophobic? No, I ain't homophobic. I ain't finna be in a room full of men that's lusting for me. That's not normal shit. You know what I mean? Not even with women, because they're mad. You know, I understand. A lot of their women, these cultures promote their women. You can see it on site. Man, you don't see too many black women you know, dolls or sex dolls like that, or whatever you want to call black or whatever. You see a lot of foreign women, even Caucasians, Asians, or even more women in a sexual manner. Like I said, you know, not really dancing them. All they're doing is just taking themselves out of the choosing game in the future. Because what these women is really doing is bettering themselves and getting ready and prepared. They wanna fuck with a nigga. And niggas is, I say, you don't have to go and have sex with no woman. You don't have to do it. They're gonna automatically want to come up and treat you kingly anyway, because you have discipline in yourself. You can actually turn down pussy. You naturally can. And you're the only one on earth that can get the light to the crown chakra. You know how hard it is for a motherfucker to do that has recessive melanin? When I say recessive melanin or recessive, when you're dealing with science, they're recessive. You have dominant and recessive. You have someone that's recessive, they're going to generate recessive ideas, weak ideas. You know, something that it won't even stay tangible. Like if you're dealing with a periodic table, they can only make a fucking element for a little bit that's going to last a little bit, like they ass. We just happen to be in a time that they're lasting this little bit. But the shit changing. Now it's like back to normal, back to being super normal and supernatural and shit. You know, in our ozone layers, things of that nature. They say the ozone was the but all of that, those names, forget the names, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Where the names is at, the atmosphere is where our family was at. When you go, you live in the atmosphere after you transition. Yeah, you live in the clouds too. You know, but the way they explain it is the way to keep you deaf, dumb, and blind to your true natural reality. That's why it's a mystery for death. It's not really a mystery. We're born that we're Sargas, who can Sargas. So these yo, you already know what they're doing, but we got this. Truth is in the porn, man. Truth is in the porn. What's my man name that played football, Tebow? Oh man, he telling on white folks, man. He pulling out receipts. I ain't even gotta pull the receipts out. He's talking about how the molestation should go down. It's like, damn. So just imagine on the plantation on the own land of in Mississippi, man. That's why I say they gotta go ahead and get up out of there. You know why? Because people are mad that black folks is gonna come together and well, they are together. They just keep on trying to divide. You gotta understand this or comprehend this, understand, overstand, whichever way. They already been coming through, you know what I'm saying, trying to divide us at all costs. Now, for us to set the example in the world, this right here, it sets us apart. The Kundalini, man, the sexual, you the most sought after man in the world. Actually, man, you actually sought after more than your woman. They want a man to fuck them more than they want to fuck your woman, man. They just get your woman just to fuck with you. They don't care. Yeah, you gotta look at it. I'm talking about the truth. You look at the porn, the truth is in that, B. They market their women as sluts, y'all. And that's a sad situation, and it's not my fault. I didn't market my women as sluts, but we had to use our women at times when we was dealing with the cluster B personality disorder in trait form, when they were pimping and shit. They wanted to bang on women and shit. They paying money. We even had they bitches. You know what I'm saying? Going around, they couldn't even bang because we had the baddest of they bitches because they seen the truth. Like, damn, these niggas can actually fuck. They giving them orgasms and shit. We ain't studied no Chinese Tao book on how to fuck a bitch. We already know it's internal. Most High gave us the gift of the wine or the vortexian current. You know what I'm saying? The slow wine and shit. And our women know how to fuck too. You know what I mean? They can't really, you can't hold a candle to it. Alright? So it go to Most High now. Pardon self. Yeah, feel the vibe, man. Feel the vibe. He's back. You back? Come here, man. Birds, we got everybody. Bees, birds, butterflies, man. Because I'm telling the truth, big dog. You know what I'm saying? This is why kicking that Kundalini back, that sexual energy back, not giving your dick up to these motherfuckers. I'm telling you, you ain't losing nothing, man. You gaining everything back, man. Everything's gonna start getting handed to you and shit. Pussy gonna get handed to you out of nowhere. I get pussy offered to me. Dudes be trying to. I'm in a place where foreigners is at too, so it's a lot of foreigners. You can see the truth in their eyes, man. Like they really look at you like. You know, and it's really like that. I'm not the finest of motherfucker. It's the Kundalini that goes along with it. I was born that way. We all were. We got that Kundalini and shit, man. We got that special creative energy. And they want to keep us in our lower chakras so we can only talk about certain things. We just be talking. That's all we'll be doing, just talking. And when you don't apply that energy, that repentant energy, I'm talking about every month when the moon is in your sun sign, how do we think we knew that? How do we know that? Because we've been living for thousands of years. The moon has to be in your sun sign. This is when that light is really, you have to cultivate that light because it's going to raise up to another chakra. You're going to be horny at that point. And this is when you're going to be, your physical is going to try to release. And that's when you don't need to release. This is why Kegels is very important, so you won't leak out. These spirits know how to attack you in your lower dream states. They only own your lower dream states because you're in the lower dream states. You're in the lower heavens. But once you start cultivating that energy, fast and detox and getting these parasites up out you, you're going to get up into your higher heavens. It depends if you're a visionary. I like to smoke before I go to bed because I see too much shit. But when I don't, it's oh man, we're seeing it all, man. And sometimes most I just make it see it. It's like, yo man, this one's finna go down. Just be ready. I seen all that, the Maui thing, I see the water, all that shit that they're finna do, you know. But all that to be heightened. You don't have a pituitary weakness. We don't say the pineal gland right now, but that's because that's more esoterical in spirit. But the pituitary gland, you won't have that weakness. A lot of people have pituitary and thyroid issues. You know, that's why I'm getting a little technical because you'll hear a couple people talk about some technical shit. But that's okay. You can regulate these thyroid things and your pituitary by just getting in the sunlight, getting that sun on your UV rays on your crystal, which is your eyeballs. You know, and you got crystals in all over your body. Your whole body's crystal. It's really what it is. You're not 666. You're not flimsy or none of that shit, man. That's fleshy. So when you're in more in the 666 state, yeah, you're gonna want to have sex, or you're gonna want to do things that are. I don't say you don't want to have sex, but you're gonna lust a little bit more, man. And this is why when the moon's in your sun sign, you got to be more careful on not thinking about these things. Because you can really think about, you can think about a woman a lot. You know what I'm saying? You can actually think about more than what you would think of, but more than what you would care to think of. But as you're growing in your celibacy and your light body, that becomes little and little. You'll see a person that you're like, yeah, man, I hit that, or you wouldn't even, you differentiate if it's a hit or not, man. You'll know if you're a love on her. You'll know if that's only hittable, and all of these different things. It's very important, big dog. You know what I mean? So when you're dealing with like, like I say, certain personality disorders that who love to gaslight and project, that's because you're saying something, you're doing something righteous. When you leave a narcissist alone, all they want to do is try to get back to you and figure out how to get you, how to be into your good graces once again, because you have this good oozing energy that they need to survive, to get validated on a daily or if not a weekly basis. This is why you have a lot of narcissistic bosses, a lot of bosses that are narcissistic. You know, they be kind of, oh man, it's not the fact that they own you. They just need somebody at work to validate their status, their fake status. So like having a narcissistic boss, you can see, it depends on how lenient they are. You can't be late, you can't do this. It's a lot of things you really can't do when you're dealing with a narcissist. If they have a supply source to replace you, you'll feel like you're walking on eggshells. So it's the same thing with America. America, they try to make niggas feel like they can get replaced. That's why they put in the so-called immigrants to get work at very low rates, at very low, giving out the money at a low rate. They have like, Somalians, people coming from Africa. They had a whole, I remember the 80s and 90s, it was just niggas at first. And then everybody came. When everybody came, we like, cool. I like to see, I want to eat the different foods, but they weren't hiring niggas either. It's like, damn, I thought you would see and help us at least. Like, these motherfuckers was doing what they were doing. Damn, why don't you help us? Can I be a dishwasher in your motherfucking spot? But they had a cluster B personality disorder status too. So they had the big eye, the little you, narcissistic form, like, no, you're my employee, you work for me. I'm talking about the foreigners. And if you do work for them, So this is why it's important to go ahead and get back into your entrepreneurship. We go ahead and take back our power back. We're wearing our own gear. We're going to have our own gear, our own clothes made out of our own certain things. And when you're dealing with business, it's who you market to, who your demographics is. And most likely it's going to be our own people. Our own people can make us great. And that's what the Most High said, man, I don't want nobody saying that they help us at all unless I put it on their heart to do it. Other than that, we're going to show that it comes right from the source, right from shit that they can't even see, the vortexian current or vertices, the power of life. All these things come right from your consciousness, man, your divine infinite consciousness. And it's going to spread like wildfire, like type shit. And it's going to go, and we're going to all be connected. And that's going to inspire us to go ahead and get this land together. And then you'll be like, yo, remember GODBODY, that land you was talking about? Yeah, I did the knowledge. Now it came into my reality. Damn, I did. It said you can get 36 acres. You can pay. They'll probably trap you in a loan thing, but you can deal out. You know how you do. We can make some deals. You know what I mean? And boom, we got the land. What we're gonna do now? We gotta plant the seed. We get the seed. We got the mirror. We got it's the land of the pomegranate. Pretty much that's our land. You know what I'm saying? So we get the building, and we're not focused on what they're doing in the world. We start linking up with our true power. I know it seems like we'll be exposed, but not really, because that's a highly spiritual area. They don't want to fuck with shit over there too tough. They're afraid. Area 51 and all that shit. Motherfuckers is afraid, man. You know what I mean? Of what type of things going over there. We just haven't even showed up over there yet. That's all. Just imagine when we go show up over there with Kundalini up high. That's how the Most High gonna bring us back together through our Kundalini. Because on the ones who gonna repent, you ain't gonna give a fuck if mama for calling you nigga and shit. Because they call you nigga in private anyways. They are obsessed with you. They idolize, devalue, and discard. It's a cluster B personality. It's all. So when you see a motherfucker say nigger and shut the fuck up in the chat, idolize, devalue, and discard. Whichever way you want to put it, devalue, discard, idolize. You know what I'm saying? It's whatever they do it, it's going to be those three, man. You know what I mean? So that's their problem. And once they get to a point where they have to face self, they're going to have to be alone and do that. They're going to have to go on themselves. We got a heaven already made for their ass. It's already made for them. They ain't going to be able to detour us away from our higher heavens now. We're bringing heaven on earth where we at. So it's going to be a direct connection. You know, all of the savagery, the false prophets, all of their false energies, and nobody never told us and warned us about our sexual energy in order to cultivate it. They'll tell us little things that what sperm does this and da-da-da, and try to glorify the woman and make the woman be as if she knows already that she follows a man. You can't make a woman know. A real woman, she know, like, nigga, you can't make me. I know I can think I'm like this, but I got masculine energy, but this nigga, when he's in his divine feminine energy, this motherfucker's hella creative. He has the magnetic attraction and pull on the earth. Just to give you an example of what I mean, when we are both in our natural, supernatural, divine feminine and divine masculine energies, and not as a gender form, because they throw us off in this gender. False prophets came in and did that shit, talking about the X chromosome and Y chromosomes, and these are two different pieces of fucking matter. You know what I mean? So that right there, we put a rebuttal for them niggas. So anyhow, though, as far as like our divine feminine, divine masculine energy, a woman who cultivates her divine masculine energy is something that we can know right now. I ain't gotta go too deep. Like Whitney Houston, she cultivated her divine. She's a feminine woman. She has divine masculine energy. She has pull on divine feminine in the men, you know what I'm saying? Or just, she has that energy. Now, Michael Jackson. Most men that are very big and very, very, very big in their talent and crafts like that, they're not highly masculine motherfuckers, dude. They're not. It's not a double masculine energy. It's like a Michael Jackson. He's like that. A Prince, Eddie Murphy. These people are in their, they're in divine. They know how to cultivate their divine feminine energies. That's what it is. And so they know that when a man is at that point, at that level, he's basically the head honcho of everything. So just basically getting to that point, not being over sexually active. We have to cultivate our energies. On that note, it's an unseen energy. We're gonna get the land back because we're gonna be honorable. We're gonna put the dollars up or whatever. If it's 50 cents for each, if it's 50 cents and we got 20 of us that are on point, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about skilled now. When I say skilled, we got skilled workers, which is dealing with HVAC. We may not need too much of an HVAC type of technician in the heat. But if we're dealing with plumbing, framework, construction. I deal with construction. Land development. You can say landscaping, land development, irrigation. Then we have, of course, we have teaching. Then we're going to have there's a lot of those in the world, but they don't have to be celibate. Everybody has to be celibate for these seasons. It's going to get done, and then we'll honor ourselves. I guarantee you, man. That year of building, if everybody's celibate, you'll be having something to look forward to so lovingly. All that energy will be focused on one area. Now it gets serious because we're not really focused on orphans right now. A lot of people ain't really, a lot of black folks ain't really thinking about it unless they're thinking about like a check or something from the government. But in real life, you got to get the orphans, and that's where the teaching comes into play. Because we haven't had the whole little mistakes that mugs made before. Because we're gonna have the land. You're gonna have certain kind of informants, but we have no fly zone, no drone zone, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, you're gonna have spiritual informants. It's deep. So to have that Kundalini up where ain't no lie can exist within that Kundalini energy, this is how we're able to teach our children again. We're teaching the truth. What was the lie? What they told us before and what it really is and what we came to find out. but we're going to be celibate teachers, celibate healers, celibate naturopaths, celibate gardeners, celibate, all of this for at least 14 months. You're going to feel the best you have ever felt in your whole entire life. You're going to keep going. And it's hard to do. Because I'm not saying it's not easy. I can kind of make it look easy because I got to certain stages over and over. But when I furthest, I have got to like a 29 month, like without like releasing in the dream. Because I don't have the desire to release on my own. Like, okay, let me go into this. Now, you grow past that. It's like you're growing young again. You're young and you're starting over again with your energy. And that's what they don't want you to know. Now you're cultivating your light body, your silica-based body. Now you're not even eating as much. You won't even eat as much. I guarantee you, Kundalini is just running through you. You're talking about once a day? Come on now. I ain't gonna have to eat until the sun goes down. When the sun starts to go down, I get a little tired. I can tell the difference because I've been sitting in them UVs and they've been covering it up, but it's so hot that that shit seeps through. And of course, eating fruit, that's electric food. You're dealing with cell therapy now. We're actually putting in the work, man. And this is what we're gonna do is more than just talking about it. Our celibate energy is going to bring forth the heaven on earth as a collective. It's it. I'm telling you, it's it. And most I said, this is the only way, really, this is the highest way of spiritual development. So, and for those who actually, have been, traumatized, even if it's molestation, whatever, your teaching is to be valuable. We're going to need all of these things. The new generation, they're gonna happiness, joy. As far as like valuing the men, is not even going to have marriages until about 30 years old type stuff, man. You're probably like 30 years old. 30 years old ain't old. If you get to be 30, 35, you realize 30 ain't even old. You still can move. You get your real divine strength at about like 34, 35. You can knock a motherfucker out solid cold. You can knock him out young, but when you about 35, you got grown ass man strength at this point. That's why they got a lot of our people, they killed them a little bit right before 39, right before 40. Because when you get to a certain stage, man, you're like grown at this point. Now you're responsible. Now you're responsible for what you eat. Your body is like, you was thinking under the will of the Most High, you still being taken care of a little bit up until about 40. Now 40, yeah, man, you got to have your right resting pattern. You're going to have to really give thanks to the Creator. That's why you practice through your life. It's an ongoing process called refinement, and that's cool. That's why I'm bringing mathematics on my end. I feel that divine mathematics, supreme mathematics through the Nation of Gods and Earths was one of the divine tools that came to us so that we can be able to get back to the youth and to our people. A lot of our people are still under the guidance of false religions, so we had to let them live out their time. But we do know that knowledge is infinite. Wisdom is the way to the understanding, which is the comprehension. And this is how the universe deals in equality with one another through man, woman, and child. Look at Swift. What's up, Swift? Come here. He said, food. That's what's up. I ain't been, I give him something to do. But yeah, and food. That happens to be the God degree in the supreme alpha, in the supreme 12, in the 12 jewels. So food, it could be whatever you put with your eyes, what you do with your body, how you feed your body, what type of environment you're in, the emotional. I don't know if y'all seen this little, but your emotion and, and that's food, So you use your food to build a strong temple, your strong physical body, and you have to know how not to eat in order to develop that light body. This attack through our food daily. They got McDonald's everywhere. We already know what's going on with it, but people still eat it, and that's because they got them parasites in them. And then with the parasites, they got wormholes that's open to these Druids or all these other spirits that birds won't come next to you. You know what I'm saying? They like, I don't fuck with you. All these spirits that are suggestive spirits, and putting the art of suggestion and persuasion into their minds, and to speak, to help them to speak down to their spirit. They're speaking to their spirit. You don't wonder why you feel down and depressed. That's because your spirit was just spoken to by a demonic entity. You have to start realizing, your spirit can hear. Yeah, you have two bodies, yo. You have a corporal body, which is your 666 body. That shit's gonna wither away. You have your crystalline light body. That's the one that's gonna live forever. The one you choose to cultivate is the one you're gonna get your justice out of it. I just suggest humbly that you cultivate the light body, and through that right now, just repent. Ain't no other way. The truth is in the pouring. They worship our organs, our phalluses, our women's nipples and shit, or everything. You know what I'm saying? They worship niggas more than anything. You'll get followed. That's why they want gayness around hard. You know what I mean? People have no pullback. Men have no pullback when they get to that stage, and their kundalini intercosmic orbit is going the opposite direction. Their serpent is going the opposite direction. It's going the 666 direction. It's not spiraling up in the nine fashion. It's going down in the 6 fashion. And so this vortice is going the other way. So what we would see is like man, that's ass backwards, man. Why are you doing that? They will see it as like, oh, that's okay. Because now you're dealing with an argumentative person. And chances are that argumentative person or spirit has that cluster B personality. That's the best way to explain it instead of saying like, oh, he has a mental issue or that motherfucker fucked up. No, we say he's cluster B. You'll know what type just by looking at a motherfucker. And you're not like trying to judge them, but you'll know already. And they'll know. The thing is, they're supposed to know where they at. But you'll know what heaven they on. Most High giving us his jewels. What heaven they on. And all of these different things. Just by dealing with them. I know they kind of fucking with the shit now. What's up, Thuggy Dove? You know, so to get ready to sum this up real fast, because I know, like I say, I'm gonna go ahead and give me some time away. I feel people pulling up on the knob, and we got this little devil on the wall. They actually want to come and get my energy. They be like, hey, I can feel the pull, because I get the goosebumps when I give it the energy at times. They know I'm like, I ain't got no money or nothing, but I know it's the energy. You know what I'm saying? And my energy is cultivated. And they'll send women, men, whoever they think they can sexually get my ass, fucking spirit, whoever they think is cold on a nigga, they send it. It'll get sent to my ass. And so now all they can do is like do little petty shit. You know, they know the information is gonna get out, and this is the most valuable information to form the true body of Christ. It's the true body of Christ. You want to have a true body of Christ? This is what we do. It's the way, the truth, and the light. And, you know, we'll stop looking at the fasting and the way that they look at it. You know, we already came up with the blueprint with the Vedic astrology, but now it's time to remix it because these people that already came in and remixed our shit. So now we know. So when anybody's going to talk ill about it, that shit ain't going to even affect you, man. You're just going to shine more, and you're going to continue on and go more. Ain't going to be no tongue talking bad about you anyways no more. So I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to wrap it up, man. I wanted to say peace for y'all for just jumping up in here. The land is accessible. We can actually do it. If you really want to know more, I got an email. We got to find it. I got to change my mother's been emailing me a lot of stuff. I get all kind of stuff, man. Like people hating me and shit. You know, people talk about the fruit and they talk bad about me eating the fruit. And, you know what I'm saying? I really don't let it get to the soul. We know what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? We know they're not strong enough to raise the light right then, and if they are, they'll realize later. But yeah, we got the links. We can get the land, man. We can get the land. It's more than just waiting on somebody to give it to us. There's so many plots that we can get, but we have to be next to each other, you know, and we have to find the medium in order for us to build right away, you know. And of course, we know gardeners and stuff like that. And once we figure that out, and once we get celibate, we'll be ready to do it within no time, within this next coming up year. This next year, actually. This will be it. And this ironically, this is going to be the year of the goat, or the ram, or the lamb. That's my Chinese zodiac sign. And at the same time, it's the 250th year of Amaru. So most likely, it's just going to come to an end. So we're going to be dealing with the right allies. We're going to make our own shit. Everything's going to be our own shit. I know business too. I'm just out here homeless. You know? I have no domicile. They know I knew. But so most ideas say, y'all, you want to fuck with my baby? I don't want to try to speak up. You know what I'm saying? They try to tag me and shit. I learned we don't have birthing centers too. You know what I'm saying? Doulas, midwives. But we're not really having babies all the time like that. We want to get the babies out the water, out the system. Shout out to 432 Drop Nation. You know the truth now. All my people that I'm linked up. These are the realest ones right now though. And everybody who know them is probably much the real motherfuckers with them. There's a couple others and shit. But yeah, with that being said, y'all, I'm rambling on, but to get the land, man, we got the information. We can get it. We just gonna have to, and we'll be paying 50 cents to 25 cents if it's enough of us, and then we're all skilled. We have some type of skill to add on to this land. Where we already know what kind of grass we could put down. We build our own shit. We're gonna build our own courts. Everything. That's the fun part about it. And wherever we farm off the land, whatever trees we don't need, we sell those. That's the sacrifice of the land. We don't have to sell nothing on it. We don't have to sell nothing from our land if we don't really want to. You know, we're going to cultivate the spirit. That's where you see everything works from there on out. People, we have to build our own homes, our tents, whatever. We can buy tents, $3,000 tents on our land, or make the tents out of the earth, of the land that's on the earth. That's right there. Boom. We just make that earth home right there. We can do all of that. And we're going to do all that. But we got to get the Kundalini right and exact first. And then once the example is set, everybody's going to start doing it. Then before you know it, boom, we're all setting up little camps. Now, because we have to deal with ourselves first, you know what I mean? We'll have our own stories, we'll have our own righteous everything, everything. And we're gonna have, we're gonna deal with other countries or companies that want to have certain things, you know what I mean? They can come through. Ones who showed and proved that they never hated niggas and shit. Shout out to Thailand. They always respect the niggas and they love me. They probably know that niggas is Buddhas. And we're a land of Buddhas type shit, of enlightened ones, you know? And we're gonna get right back to that again. It's not gonna be as religious through the Bible. It's gonna be, everything's gonna be new. All right, I love y'all, yo. So on this journey starting right now, I'm walking with you, man. It's October. It's about to be wintertime in the mainland, you know. And this is the point where we can actually complete whatever we put forth. Changing our diets, eating a certain way, but it's gonna be colder, so it's like, you can definitely take meat out, but you add a little bit more carbs in. Just eat according to the season as best as possible. If I'm outside and I ain't got shit, I know y'all can do it. I know you can do it. Just think of that. I know you can do it, man. So use this energy right now. These full moon, this Sabbath is coming up, so I'm gonna be resting, but start studying the true Sabbath. It's the 4 sacred days of the moon. This is why these witches and warlocks can do these spells on you, even if we're on Sabbath of their Sabbath that they say on a Saturday. We'll be so off, we'll be so fucked up. You know what I mean? Still, because their spell work is working. They're still using the moon, and we're just using the sun as, that. And remember, the moon is that. It determines a lot of things. Whenever this moon is in your sun sign, that's when you become the most horniest. There's a lot of things going on. We're going to learn astrology all over again. We're going to have true astrologists, Shout out to the true tarot readers who are naturally tapped in. We're going to have those. We have everybody on the land, G. And then we can display ourselves and chop it up with monks. You know what I mean? Now everybody gonna listen to what we got to say in the spirit realm. Now we got the divine council. Now we got our tarot readers that's over there chilling, doing they can cultivate themselves so beautifully. They got their land, they got everything. Boom. We done built a little lake. I know Mother's gonna be eating some fish. We gonna make a little lake. Mother's gonna eat some fish. That's as far as you can go. We're not sacrificing no goats and shit like that on the land. That's on some other level. We gotta refine ourselves as much as possible. Being in a hot area, you know what I'm saying, you can't be eating meat really like that anyway, because you're silica based. You're supposed to be eating liquid light, which is basically crystal light. It's an open wicked ending, but they call it crystal light, because light is truly it's crystal, but it's vibrating faster. Crystal is slowed down. It's just a crystal. Crystal is just a slowed down condensed light. That's what you are, a crystal light being, or a crystalline being, but I say crystal light being. You're just a slowed down, frozen version of your true light self. So everything moves, even if it appears stationary, That's dealing with science and stuff. All right, y'all. They're like, damn, she gonna come through? They over here. They ain't even really tripping. They go, that's mahogany, y'all. She be tripping. She be chilling. I didn't say tripping. She be chilling. What's up, baby? Say, see my chest? You see my chest? I see your chest, baby. Say hey to everybody. She's like, how you know it's a she? You be around their asses, and they all got personalities. I see why the Most High call them doves and say they love the boy and all that shit. I see it now. I'm like, okay. But you wouldn't want to be in this state, you know what I'm saying, until you get to your kundalini, to your heart, until you get to your heart chakra. That's about 4 months. We already up. We had 6 years going on 7-year mark, man. So you got a brother out here that's doing it. And I seen the traps parts and all of that stuff. When the traps come, how often they come. You got a brother out here. All you gotta do is ask questions. I'm here really for y'all, you know what I mean? And people want to ask me questions all day in public, but they don't know how to. I'm in places where a lot of rich motherfuckers, so they think they can know what I know or know what is known or whatever, in the gym or just walking. I guess I'm mysterious to these people, but they don't ask. But on the mainland, people ask all kind of stuff, But like here, they have a big eye little U syndrome. But they see though. But I'm here for y'all for sure. For my people, anyone who want to ask me, feel that they got, that vibratory of a faith, this energy, faith in the all spirit. Because we can get the land within the next year, y'all. All we gotta do is get celibate, this next month, what, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. By April, you know what I mean? By April, we can be, y'all can be up about 6 months. Added on with mine, man, we up there, G. You know what I'm saying? And mother's gonna get serious. There's some bros, we got bros on here right now that's like 6 years, 7 years now. So we're coming together. It's gonna come together, wherever it takes. If it takes 12 of us, y'all. 12, man, we can get 36 acres, probably $150 a month between 12 of us. Really no more than $20 a month, really. So, not more than the phone bill. And we can just build on it. That'd be our joy. Just building on our land, making the fences, making the fruit fences. You know, we got the plants, we got stuff we'll learn. We just, Most High give us everything after that, because we done put in the work, man. And they'll see, like, my babies really want this shit. You know what I'm saying? They did the most biggest sacrifice. You know, this is the biggest sacrifice. Ain't nothing more bigger than this, motherfucker. Besides murder and shit. And Most High ain't with that. So just just kill the falseness, the false God syndrome in yourself. And just get tapped into the Creator. And that's where it's at, because everybody's going to cultivate that happiness with the Creator, their own self. And then we'll come together and, you know, play our music and maybe have some prayer warriors. We're not going to use false names and shit like that. We're going to come to, it's going to be right. And Most High is going to communicate, you know what I mean? We're hitting off the mounds. Now we're in the thousands now. Now we're going to the mounds with our brothers. That now we're linking everything up. Our Kundalini energy is connecting with the mounds now. Now we're celibate. We got a little bit more energy up. Now we know why we're going to these mounds. Now we're praying around the mounds. Now we're standing around the mounds. I used to take my children to mounds all the time. Them people would get off the mounds. When the Hindustan people, I used to come through and they would be their neighborhood, but they'll leave that mother, look at us, sit up on the top of that mound in a circle, and I'll tell a story at the end of the night or right at sunset. I named the mounds myself. I'm like, this sun mound, this sunset mound, because the way it was set, the sun was like perfect, like, yeah. So I was just showing me mounds years ago. So I knew in the future, I was like, damn, once we get on point, we're going to be doing this. Next thing you know, the Most High blessed us with a bro that's building specifically on mounds that's from Mississippi. And I love that brother. And I'm from Mississippi too. So I knew that the woke ones truly from Mississippi is not going to really misguide you like that. You know what I'm saying? Mississippi went through a lot. It's a lot of heart in Mississippi still. And a lot of love in Mississippi still to this day. And they can't drain away, man. So with that being said, man, I look forward to building with us, man, to building with the Life family and all of us when we get together. The thing is, just start working out, start eating right, start refining. You know, you got a brother out here, you got a brother that's actually living on the earth itself. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got no income like that or nothing. But I still got a good outcome because I got the Most High, you know. So let that be some of your drive and motivation. And you can always chop it up and talk to it. All right? That being said, I love y'all. Salute, and I'm with you. Peace.